So, in Akron, Ohio, there was a police murder. Jayland Walker, I believe their name was shot by police approximately 90 times. And body camera footage was released yesterday, I believe. And there have been protests going on in the area. And I've got this Twitter thread from a reporter in the area that I want to scan through because it shows some very interesting materials. So as you can see, there were mass protests, people in cars driving to the police station. The police station, as you could see, was putting up Christmas lights. I want to be very honest with y'all. Like, this fucking shit is, like, literally terrifying. Like, it's like when you walk up to the fucking cop station, they might as well be putting, like, swastika neo-Nazi flags, like, out the windows. It's very much so the same thing. Right? So, again, let's timeline here. Police shoot someone 90 times and then arrest their corpse after they were gunned down 90 times. They arrest their corpse by putting handcuffs on the corpse. That's fucking insane. Right, like, there was some motherfucker that was literally flopping around a dead body to put handcuffs on a dead body. Right? They released the body camera footage. People show up to protest, and then they put out their neo-Nazi iconography. And then, I want to scroll forward here in this. Then the Riot Police come out. And it seems to me that Riot Police were not fucking around in Akron, Ohio. They were using tear gas. I saw some other clips that a lot of people were getting arrested. Now, again, I want to ask you a question. How much money do you think these police stations waste on, one, equipment, two, overtime pay for all the police in the whole county to come out and beat the shit out of black people for fun? That costs a lot of money. You pay them overtime. Right? And now imagine a world where the money that was wasted on that just immediately was spent on the victim's family. When I was doing a protest movement in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, I was under the impression, based on what the city and county treasury was saying, that they had spent well over $1 million funding the riot cops' response, overtime pay, right? Like busing in police from out of the county, out of the city. They spent over $1 million on a small town of 18,000 people in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, after Andrew Brown Jr. was shot and killed. Now, I don't know the population of Akron, Ohio, but I imagine that if they're going to spend $1 million to bring out riot cops to beat the shit out of, like, old people in a city where no one lives in North Carolina, I imagine Ohio, if they have more people in Akron, it's just going to be scaled upward. So, again, I don't understand. I really just don't get why the reaction from police is always to be violent. Okay, so, again, domino effect. Someone is shot 90 times and someone puts handcuffs on their corpse. That is violence. That is violence. That is a violent act. That is extremely violent. So why is it that when protesters don't do anything violent, they just say, hey, that's fucked up, the cops come out and beat the shit out of protesters? It really does. Like, again, the state has a monopoly on violence. They can basically do whatever they want. And they can beat the shit out of you and get away with it. No one will even know who they are. They can, and now again, I also want to point out the more depraved angle of this, like I was mentioning, overtime pay. Cops love overtime pay. There's an incentive structure built into this. So one, the people that murder other people on the job, they get a paid vacation. I want everyone to understand how the system works and why this happens. 1,000 plus people die every year from police. So when you kill someone, you get a paid vacation. You get to go home, sit on your ass for a couple weeks, and you get paid for it. Then all your buddies in the department, as well as any department in like a tri-county area. Like again, when I was in North Carolina, Elizabeth City is on the eastern seaboard of North Carolina. We were having motherfuckers from the border of Tennessee driving over for overtime pay. Sweet, sweet overtime pay. Right, so not only you kill someone, great, paid vacation. Everyone in your department, and depending on how many people protest, if there's like more than 15 old people, maybe they'll bring in everyone in the whole state, will go there, right, like flies on like an apple core that you left out. They will go there for that sweet, sweet overtime pay. That's the incentive structure for police. You get paid vacation to kill people, and then not only do you get paid vacation, but everyone in your department gets time and a half overtime pay. And that's just how it is. That's how it works in this country. And 98.3% of the time, police do not even get charged with a crime. But as you can see in this video, this reporter, you know, is mainstream news-ish. So they didn't get, you know, too many good shots. But this is what I saw on Twitter. There are clouds of tear gas just in the air. Now, again, what needs to be understood is tear gas is a chemical weapon. It is illegal in the Geneva Conventions for International Warfare, right? It causes extreme bodily harm. Extreme bodily harm. If people breathe this stuff in, it's been known to cause blood circulation issues, nausea. People have been known to have brain fog for upwards of 3 months after exposure to tear gas. This is not like, it's not like, oh, you're fucking like water cannons. I mean, like, I would say water cannons are probably less dangerous in a lot of ways than tear gas, right? Because people are going to get the fuck out, and they're not going, like, you know, I mean, there's examples of them using water cannons on people at the Dakota Access Pipeline protest, and then they got hypothermia. But, you know, again, tear gas causes a lot of bodily harm for a long period of time. And exposure to tear gas, people have had miscarriages after being exposed to tear gas. There were, in the summer of 2020, people that were not even at protests had miscarriages because of exposure to tear gas, because it was leaking into their, like, windows at their apartment buildings. They were at home, and tear gas was so much so in the atmosphere and in the air that it got into their apartment, and it caused them extreme bodily harm. And I read this article a couple of years ago, so maybe you can fact check me. But again, it's extremely insane that they bring out the fucking thugs. Like, these riot cops, again, I want you to understand, these riot cops love doing this. They're not scared at all because they're getting overtime pay. They're getting time and a half. Sometimes they're getting paid 2 times what they would normally make. I remember when I was doing protests in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, I was spying on cops at one point because I love doing that. And I heard cops talking about how, like, oh, I'm up to like 100 something hours this week. So now I'm going to afford to get my kids some fucking stupid shit. I don't know. This was like, their birthday was coming up, I guess. I don't know. But I want you to understand, like, they get paid a fuck ton of money to stand around in like an Iron Man suit and beat the shit out of old people and black people for fun. That is a fucked up incentive structure. And again, if you look back at the domino effect, every step of the way, the person who shot and killed, or the people involved in shooting and killing Jayland Walker, I guarantee you, their paid vacation is coming up very soon. And that's the great thing about they did it really good. 90 shots? Who knows what the kill shots would have been? They're all on the hook. Maybe they're going to go out to Hawaii, live a little with their paid vacation. They're going to be sitting on the beach somewhere, in Hawaii as their fucking paycheck cashes and they can go get drunk with their cop buddies. That's the shit that they do. So when people see an opportunity for a kill, I need you to understand police in this country are predators. And they kill black people for fun and entertainment. I mean, they kill white people too every once in a while. Right, but typically when they kill white people, maybe they'll have to go through a couple hoops before they get their paid vacation. But police in this country know for a fact that they can kill any black person and get away with it without even being charged. Again, 98.3% of the time, police don't even get charged. Right? And then the whole department can get overtime pay. And they can just fucking suck the city budget dry. And that's just the playbook. That's how they do it. And so I really need people to understand that the police response to this kind of shit is insane. But it's by design. It is purposefully insane. It's not an accident. And of course, solidarity with everyone protesting in Akron. Shit's fucked up.